It's fine to celebrate success, but it is more important to heed the lessons of failure. Failures, repeated failures, are finger posts on the road to achievement. One fails forward towards success. Winning is great, sure, but if you are really going to do something in life, the secret is learning how to lose. Nobody goes undefeated all the time. If you can pick up after a crushing defeat and go on to win again, you are going to be a champion someday. Do not be embarrassed by your failures, learn from them, and start again. Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Any fact facing us is not as important as our attitude toward it, for that determines our success or failure. The way you think about a fact may defeat you before you ever do anything about it. You are overcome by the fact because you think you are. The guns and the bombs, the rockets and the warships are all symbols of human failure. My fault, my failure, is not in the passions I have, but in my lack of control of them. The person interested in success has to learn to view failure as a healthy, inevitable part of the process of getting to the top. I never see failure as failure, but only as the game I must play and win. I really don't think life is about the I could have beens. Life is only about the I tried to do. I don't mind the failure, but I can't imagine that I'd forgive myself if I didn't try. All human actions are equivalent, and all are on principle doomed to failure. It's best to have failure happen early in life. It wakes up the phoenix bird in you so you rise from the ashes. A person who doubts himself is like a man who would enlist in the ranks of his enemies and bear arms against himself. He makes his failures certain by himself, being the first person to be convinced of it. The great question is not whether you have failed, but whether you are content with failure. Often the difference between a successful person and a failure is not one has better abilities or ideas, but the courage that one has to bet on one's ideas, to take a calculated risk, and to act. Socialism is a philosophy of failure, the creed of ignorance, and the gospel of envy. Its inherent virtue is the equal sharing of misery. Notice the difference between what happens when a man says to himself, "I'd have failed 3 times," and what happens when he says, "I'm a failure." Our failings sometimes bind us to one another as closely as could virtue itself. Before success comes in any man's life, he's sure to meet with much temporary defeat and, perhaps, some failures. When defeat overtakes a man, the easiest and the most logical thing to do is to quit. That's exactly what the majority of men do. The things that will destroy America are prosperity at any price, peace at any price, safety first instead of duty first,